Hi, I'm Francois from adventurebiketroop.com, and in this video I want to chat about my 1977 Toyota Land Cruiser HJ45. It's a Troopie, it's a diesel. So I first saw this cruiser in 2 years ago when I was organizing a trail run in a reserve out of town, a nature reserve. And I told the owner if he ever wants to sell it, he has to let me know. Back then he didn't want to sell it, and then I ran into him about 2 months ago and we made a deal. I test drove it that same day. The brakes didn't work. It wasn't a proper test drive, so you couldn't stop at all. There was no fluid in the reservoir. But anyways, I fell in love with the car, and when I saw the service history, he got it from his grandfather, who drove it from new 1977 until about 2013, just before he passed away. He was 95 when he stopped driving around in this cruiser, him and his wife. They had to use little stools to get in and then pull it up with a rope. So the story, the rich history behind this thing, and that full service history, every single invoice is in the folder, from the purchased invoice in September 77 to the invoice in October 77 when they converted this to a Troopie. It was a truck initially, the normal HJ45 truck, single cab, and they had it converted professionally by Miano and Sons. Now they've been doing this since 1910, they're coach builders. So they are it's not some backyard job. So they took it straight from Toyota to Miano, converted to a Troopie. I've only seen one of these on the internet. I know in Australia and America you get the original Troopie from Toyota. We didn't get that here in South Africa. But anyway, so Miano did that coach building. They actually, and I'm talking under correction now, but I think they actually started the double cab, the 76 series double cab cruiser. And then Japan saw it and they started building the double cabs. But Miano has been doing that specific build since the 90s or even earlier. So anyways, the car is completely original. I know it's not anymore because of these wheels. We'll chat about that in a separate video. And basically our idea, I've got a bit of a disease when it comes to old cars. This is my only car. My wife's got a Jimny that we ride around in town. But when I buy a classic car, that's my only car, so I don't have a backup car, so it has to be reliable. And I drive around with it every day, fetch my daughter from school, etc. So my first priority is always reliability. And there's two types of classic car people. The one is people that wants to keep the car original, which makes sense because it holds more value that way, but it's also very expensive. If I want to get this back to its original state and strip the whole body off and redo the chassis and all of that, I could easily spend 5 times as much as what I paid for it, and it might be worth close to that, or maybe half or whatever. But that's the first type of person. The other one is someone that uses it every day and travel with it, tour with it, and that's what we want to do with it. So there's going to be a lot more on this channel about what we want to do with the Troopie and how we're going to fix it up to get it reliable and tour ready, and we'll do some touring as well, film that. So please let me know what you want to see on this channel with the Troopie. I know this is a bike channel mostly. Okay, let's take a quick tour around the Troopie. Okay, so it's a normal HJ45. The H is for diesel, obviously. It's got the original diesel engine, the HG diesel, so that's the 3.6 straight 6. There's a lot of rust. This is just surface rust. I kind of like it here on the bumper. It had the split rims on there. I changed it for tubeless tires. I had to replace the tires anyway. I'll explain all of that in a separate video because it was quite a big decision for me. You can see there's some rust here. This is the original color, but they did respray the front end because I think there was a bit of a smash in one of the corners. You can see the paintwork is not perfect. I'd love to make it freeborn red, but my wife says no. So I'll see what we'll do about that. These windows are different from the Australian Troopies, the original Toyota Troopies, and this back end as well, you can see, but this is how Miano built them. Okay, let's have a look at the back. So this is what they did. It's a classic Troopie in the back end, bench seats for 8 people. And then it's open to the front there. Let's have a look inside. So this is original except for the seats. These are imported seats, bucket seats, without headrests. I actually bought a 75 series bench seat here that was reupholstered that I have to fit in here. You can see the kilometers there, or the mileage. 200 miles, it's 352,000 kilometers, 200,000 miles. That's I could authenticate that with the service history. So I actually went through the whole service history, each invoice, and it was amazing to see how they how stuff got more expensive and how carefully looked after the cruiser. So that was just a very quick walk around of this HJ45 Land Cruiser. Please let me know in the comments what you would like to see about the Land Cruiser, and if you have any questions, if you have an old Land Cruiser or a classic car, and what are your thoughts on keep it original versus get it comfortable the way you like it. One of the things that is definitely that needs work on this is soundproofing inside. That's one of the things that is preventing us at the moment for driving around with this longer distance, because it is quite noisy inside. There's no carpeting, it vibrates quite a lot, so that's one thing that we're going to sort out quickly. But let me know what you think, and I'll see you next week, probably again for a bike video. Cheers. That was easier than I thought. Woohoo!